Welcome to World's Finest, the Southgate Movie Group Weekly DC Comics Review. As always, I am Phil Parrish, and joining me is...
It's Lilith. So, I like this week for the most part. Next week looks really good. So, I think that DC is off to a good start for the new year, and I'm really happy.
What would you like to start with?
We can start on a high note or a low note. I will let you pick.
What do you want to do, Swamp Thing first?
I mean, it's my pick of the week. So, I mean, I can go on and gush about it. So, yeah, if you want to start there, Lynn Wein and Kelly Jones came together to make a really great story. Not only did I think it was great, almost every single critic review that I read really liked it. They the ones that tended to review it, I could tell were fans of the old Swamp Thing, and so I can totally tell why they love it, because they definitely had a lot of Alan Moore-esque horror stylings in this issue, and I'm super pumped. Can't wait to see where the next 5 issues takes us. Hopefully to a full series.
Oh yeah, I loved it. Good story. The Kelly Jones art reminded me of like the 90s Batman. You know, when he did 90s Batman. Yeah, it was really good.
Like I said, it's my pick of the week. It's a 5. I had really low hopes, honestly, because Swamp Thing is a tricky character. And the last run that they did with Swamp Thing never really quite got off the ground, despite how hard they tried. But this one is like, yeah, we want a full series, and we're going to put our hearts and souls into it. And like I said, you could tell that they were total fans of the original Swamp Thing. I was blown away.
Yeah, it was really good.
What would you give it?
I gave it a 4.5.
What kept you from giving that 5? Something else better?
I don't know. I just had this feeling, but I couldn't tell you what. I mean, it was an excellent book. I mean, I don't know.
It's just something, and it's okay if it's just something that nags at you from the corners of your mind.
You didn't read Green Lantern, did you?
No, I'm waiting for other things to happen in the Green Lantern core universe.
Oh, that's next week.
Is it? Yes. Well, then I'll be talking about that next week.
No, Green Lantern 48. It was it impressed me. It was a lot better than it has been in a long time, I think. You know, he's back on Earth. I like that, but it was basically him. Well, I got scared at first because I didn't see the cover until I picked it up, and it's him. It looked like him duking it out with the Jim Gordon Batman. But they actually didn't fight, so I was happy with that. He went to Jim Gordon for information on Sonar. Yeah, and then he found Sonar's terrorist group who are willing to suicide bomb themselves. And then the ending, out in space where Oa used to be, Parallax is just like, no, this can't be. Oa's gone, the core is gone, and he's like, you know. He says, you know, he has to take care of the one responsible for this, so he has to go kill Hal Jordan.
Good luck with that, buddy. I've been wishing for that for a really long time, and it just doesn't happen.
But I'm just like, okay, so you're blaming Hal Jordan for the death of the core and Oa and everything, and I'm thinking, wait a minute, Parallax, I understand where he's coming from, but aren't you a hypocrite?
DC, I think that might be a meta reference of some sort.
I mean, do you think they're going to slip in, you know, they're going to replace Casual Friday Superman with, you know, the Lois and Clark Superman? Or are they going to replace this Hal Jordan with older Hal Jordan?
Honestly, they'd be better off to do that, and I wouldn't even bat an eyelash. I wouldn't complain. I would just take it, accept it, and relish in it. That's what I would do.
I know. But like I said, I was really impressed. The more than I have been with Green Lantern in a long time. This is a solid 3.5 for me.
Oh, good for Green Lantern. Like I said, there's some really interesting Green Lantern stories. I mean, come on. I mean, most of the stuff that like kind of, I think why I hold like it in such low regard is a lot of it ended up having turned 52 into the new 52. You know what I mean? So it's just like, it's always going to be in the back of my mind. Like, that's what they were doing. That's what they were building up to. So it just kind of leaves a sour taste in my mouth. But they definitely have a lot of good storylines. And I love the expansion that Jeff Johns did in recent years. It's just that Hal Jordan, he's just such a dick. Like they need to rein it in, and then I would like if they rein him in and like give him a little more like edge and actual leadership. Basically just have Jon Stewart kind of spank him and mentor him and tone it down. I'd be a lot happier with just actually being able to read a Green Lantern solo story.
Enough with your fanfic, okay?
Right.
But no, I mean the issue was good. I mean, he had some like general like you got like the emotional scene because in the beginning, like last issue in the attack, his nephew was injured, so like he's in the hospital waiting room, just like all mopey, and there's like this older lady who's telling him her husband was injured, and then she's like, "It's not your fault," she's all like, "It's not your fault," and then when they see Sonar on TV, she's like, "Go get him," and he's like, "Oh, I am."
Oh, okay, that's good. That's what he needs is some emotional balance. So it's good to see that they kind of are trying to fix that up. But I'll be glad when he's restored with everybody else. I really think that they like a team book with him would be interesting. He's definitely a better foil for Jon Stewart. Mm-hmm. Almost anybody else they had on Lost Army. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. I read something that I know you didn't read, and I'm just gonna preface this with it's worse ways to spend 99 cents, but there's also better ways to spend 99 cents. I'm talking about Batman Arkham Knight, Batgirl and Harley Quinn special number 2. Basically, a certain traveling circus comes to Gotham, and it's up to Batgirl to stop Harley Quinn. I generally like the Batman Arkham Knight stuff. This one is kind of an inconsequential story, just for fun kind of thing. But it was lots of action, great dialogue. It was written by Tim Seeley, and the art was by Matthew Clark. Just all around, if you have nothing else to do and nothing else to spend the 99 cents on, go ahead. Treat yourself. I mean, it's Batgirl and Harley Quinn.
So it's digital only then, or?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is. That's how I always get the Arkham Knight stuff. I've never seen it in my comic book shop, and my comic book shop's pretty big. They probably collect it in trades, though. I'm pretty sure they do that. So.
Yeah, probably. So what did you give it?
It's a 3. Like I said, there's worse ways to spend 99 cents, and there's better ways, like some gum, foot by the tape gum, watermelon flavor. Just saying. Anyway, what's up next?
Let's see.
I actually ended up reading Action Comics, so if you want to talk about that, we can.
Okay, let's jump into that then. Action Comics 48. What do you think?
50's right around the corner, so I've just been like, okay, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna spend the $4 for these next 2 months, just so I'm not completely lost. Can we just say the Savage Dawn? Really? Really? That's what we're calling it? They're trying so hard.
Wasn't that one of the Twilight movies?
I would not know. I do want to say I just don't like this Vandal Savage thing. I just don't like it. He's just not he doesn't scream Superman villain. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I don't know. There's something wrong with that whole thing.
But I will say it's one of the better stories that I've read. Unfortunately.
What, with Vandal?
No, just the Superman Action Comics in general.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you can tell they're building up to that crossover for next issue. So it's just like, I mean, it was well paced. The art was decent, but it's just still casual Friday Superman, and at least he's like looking forward to like trying to get his powers back now. So I mean, that's this one step forward in the right direction. So I can't be too hard on it. But honestly, if it wasn't a big build up to issue 50, I would not be picking this up. I would not be spending my $4 on them.
Yeah, I mean, it's the story was a little better, but it's like, well, why wasn't he doing this like
4 issues ago?
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly, sir. That is the $1,000,000 question.
Oh, we had to spin our wheels for a while.
That's all we've been doing for quite a while in almost all of the main titles, and it's unfortunate. I think it's
Yeah.
worn a lot of the fandom down.
Mm-hmm.
So 50 has to be pretty. Well, 50 and 52 have to be really spectacular issues, I think, to make up for it.
Yeah, I think this is a 3 for me. What did you think?
Yeah, it's a 3. I'll
Mm-hmm.
go there. And it's a slightly generous 3, but like I said, like they're putting a foot forward in the right direction. It's not the writer's fault. I'm pretty sure that the mandate was, hey, everybody spin their wheels till we can, have a reason. And obviously, Batman versus Superman: Dawn of Justice. God, that is a mouthful. Is the reason why things are kind of stagnant. So
Okay. Uh. So you want to jump to Green Arrow?
it's something that's actually been improving over the last 3 issues, and it surprises me because there's no urgent need for Green Arrow to be good all of the sudden, I guess is what I'm saying. Like, you know what I mean? Like with Superman and Wonder Woman and Batman, it is a very, even Aquaman to an extent, it's a very urgent need for the stories to get better and entice interest. Whereas Green Arrow has had its own kind of, honestly, more successful than I ever thought. Tie-in comic books with, season 1 and season 2.5, and they also are doing this new Dark Archer thing. So what I'm saying, like the main Green Arrow doesn't have a necessary urgent need to become good all of a sudden. So it was a wonderful surprise for me because I love Green Arrow, and I love that they're kind of getting back in touch with that mysticism that really kind of drove a couple of the best arcs they've had for Green Arrow.
Yeah, I mean, well, once again, I thought I was like, wow, some months this title's been hit and miss, but I was like this week I was like, wow, that was good.
Yep. So that virus, how do we feel about it?
I don't know. I like the part where he was like, when you hang with the Justice League, I don't have any powers. I don't have this. This can help, like, bring me up a level. But then he realizes, towards the end, he's like, I better get rid of this.
Yeah. I like Green Arrow most when he's a loner, obviously. So with him having to stay away from his friends and his family and stuff like that, I like kind of where they're going with this. I would like to see a more introspective Oliver Queen. I really want to thank Benjamin Percy for like really kind of trying to get back to basics with Green Arrow. So I think that that's what this arc is going to be all about.
Mm-hmm.
A rededication of sorts. So I'm looking forward to seeing how the fruition of this arc for sure. First time in a long time that
And
I've been excited about a Green Arrow title.
I know it's good, and I bet I know when the cure is coming. Probably 50.
52, I think. Honestly,
Oh, really?
I don't think Green Arrow has anything to prove by trying to make a mass transformation, even though technically it's like one of the core 7 titles. Because, like I said, they have all that other stuff to deal with Green Arrow. Green Arrow isn't in the Justice League as far as we know, so it's just like 52. They might actually retitle it because it's towards the end of this run. It's been really like critically panned.
Mm-hmm.
So I could see them rebooting this at issue 52, so they wouldn't necessarily want to do anything big for 50.
Although I think issue 50 is going to be a big one, just like all the other 50s.
Yeah, just so they can milk the money, but I don't think anything's really gonna happen.
Mm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay, so it's just
it's foil covers for everybody. You get
okay.
a foil cover, you get an adult coloring book cover variant. Which
Little
they
help.
are actually pretty awesome. I will say them giving selling the colored pencils though for $12.99. Hit the ka-ching button. Because you can just go to Walmart and get it for $1.99. That's what I did. My color pencils. Well, actually, no, not really. Mine came from an art store because I like to dabble in lettering and stuff like that and shading. So that's the only reason. But don't feel the need to necessarily get those. Go ahead and go to Walmart or Kroger or wherever the heck you shop in the art department and just grab you some and have fun.
So, yeah, so I thought Green Arrow was a 4 for me. What did you think?
I was a 4.25. Like I said, I was really like surprised that this is where they're going. I hope Benjamin Percy stays around for a while. I think that's another thing that has this title has suffered under is a lot of changing of the guard, like a
Mm-hmm.
lot. When the winning formula was when it was like back at the Totem arc, before Diggle and Felicity came in. That was like really, really good. And then they just made this drastic shift. And then they had another person come in after that, a drastic shift. And now we have Benjamin, who just really wants, you can tell he wants to get back to basics of this character. So that's why I graded it the way that I did.
Cool. And you mentioned the Dark Archer thing. Should we talk about that real quick?
Oh, sure. I mean, you know more about it than I do. I just kind of casually glanced on TV Insider and I said, oh, it's Merlin. Ugh.
Yeah. I just saw the one article the other day. So so it's a digital first series, and I guess they're going to collect it in a trade or something later on. But it's written by the actor who plays Malcolm Merlin himself.
John Barrowman and
Yeah,
his
John
sister
Barrowman.
Carol.
Yeah.
They seem really cute though and excited about it. And it's really interesting that they kind of let him do this. That's the biggest shocker of all. If anything, I would have thought they at least would have thrown Phil Hester in since he did such a great job with the Flash stuff.
Mm-hmm. I forget, did they mention an artist on this?
No, I don't think they did.
Hmm.
But it's a backstory, and I'm just like, so didn't we? I think I know. I have all the backstory I ever need for Merlin. Like, mm-hmm. I understand that John Barrowman is a popular actor, but I don't think at this point in the fandom that people actually like Merlin as a character. So I'll be interested to see how well that title sells.
Maybe they're just banking on that. Well, maybe he had a good story idea. Who knows? But maybe they're just banking on, okay, he's the actor who actually plays this character, so people might just check it out out of curiosity.
Hit that ka-ching button, Phil.
That's why I wanted to know. Okay.
Just wear it out. I'm gonna read the first issue. Yes, exactly. I'm gonna read the first issue, but I don't feel like I'm gonna be invested enough. They had a time to tell Merlin's backstory, which was in season 1, and at the very latest, season 2. We got like glimpses and glimmers of it, and now it's just a little too late for me. I would much prefer a backstory for Oliver at this point because he's the least developed character on the damn show, even though he's the title character.
And I mean, didn't we kind of get Malcolm Merlin's backstory already on the show? The whole death of his wife and everything. So what is this going to be? Just showing his training and stuff?
It's supposed to be what he was up to, like between like season 1 and 2, and how like after he supposedly died and all this stuff. I'm like, too little, too late, but we'll see. Anyway, moving on.
You said you didn't read Midnighter?
No, I didn't.
All right, let me get this. I mean, I don't want to say get it out of the way, but let me do this before, because all I have left after that's Bat books. But
of course,
of course. This one wasn't bad. I liked the art in this. Who did this? David Messina.
Ooh, okay, I like him.
I like this. Yeah, I like the art better than Not that I had a problem with the art earlier in the series, but I liked it a lot better now. And he kind of does a team up with is Dominic Mdaw, Mndawe, like a character, like a known character.
I am at a loss, honestly. Maybe he's one of those small niche characters. I don't know.
He kind of has. He can channel like.
He might be from the previous Midnighter comic book, maybe.
Maybe because he can like do stuff with animals and stuff and.
Do stuff with animals.
Well, I don't know if he can like communicates with them or.
Is he like the male vixen?
Well, yeah, he doesn't. He physically, I don't know if he channels their powers, but he can like communicate with them, and I don't know. It's kind of a weird thing. He might be like a Vixen / Animal Man type thing.
I could easily see that with the old Midnighter book, honestly.
Mm-hmm. But then you had Helena Bertinelli on the cover, but meanwhile she only shows up like on the last 2 or 3 pages.
Misleading. Check.
What's that you say?
Exactly.
But
so obviously she's gonna be in the next issue, though, right?
It could be because once again she brings up this perdition pistol that what was it, last issue or the issue before they mentioned it towards the end.
Did you mean Chekhov's gun?
But of course, but no, she's like, you're gonna have to track down the usual suspects. And she was like, did any of these targets look familiar? And she puts up a hologram, and it's the Parasite, Deadshot, Captain Boomerang, and Harley Quinn. So,
oh really?
Guest villains galore.
Writing time for Suicide Squad. God. I gotta hand it to DC. I really thought it would be beneath them to do it, but they have proven me wrong. And it's smart, but it's stupid at the same time.
What, Suicide Squad?
No, the way that they're interweaving things, even though they claim that they want to keep everything separate. You can obviously tell why they're putting certain characters certain places. That should just be our theme song at this point.
Like, what do you mean? Like, welcome to the world's finest, the weekly DC Comics review?
Exactly. Just ka-ching, ka-ching, ka-ching. Anyway, I don't know. Like, I think I want to pick up. I want to wait till it gets collected and trade because I think when I read the first 3, it just kind of flowed better. You can tell that these writers specifically are definitely kind of not going against the grain and writing for the trade. I found the first arc to kind of be drawn out a little bit, so I like to just read it all in one go and see if it changes my mind.
I hear that.
Oh, but can I pimp something really quick?
Sure, go ahead.
So Icarus, Detective Comics Volume 6 Icarus came out and it collects issues 30 through 34 and Detective Comics Annual number 3. It's actually one of my it's actually a pretty good run. I don't know if it's worth the $17, so if you can find it on sale, definitely pick it up. But it's definitely a must-have if you're a Batman fan and you like to collect the trades. The hardcover was $25, so I've been waiting for the trade paperback, obviously. So yeah, great little thing to add to your collection.
And why you said that? Why I remember, because I know I'll forget. I think this week coming up, I probably won't be able to find it right away. It seems like I can never find it right away, but I think the new volume of Hellblazer comes out this week. I think it's volume 12.
Yeah, they are hard to find.
It's like any Barnes and Noble like around me that's like if they get it, it takes them a while. Or if
Have you tried Amazon? They have really surprised me with the selection that they offer now. Like right away, too.
I could probably go there. I always try to get her, in the stores.
Day of, yeah.
I don't have to pay shipping and stuff, but even like in my local shop, like I swear that he doesn't carry them. It's like if I ask, he'll order it, but it's like,
well, really? He thinks it's so old, and then the show flopped to boot. So I can understand certain shop owners,
Yeah, but I mean, I've seen people on like Twitter and stuff going on about it, saying, "Oh, when's the new when's the new Hellblazer coming out?"
Now you have to shame every retailer in the whole wide country to carry Hellblazer.
Come on, retailers, get on the DC bandwagon.
Ugh, yeah, seriously.
But yeah, Midnighter 8, I gave it a 3.5.
Cool. Where to next?
Well, I have 3 Bat books left.
Yeah, same.
Okay. You want to do Detective Comics 48?
We could do that. This one made me really excited for what they might do with 50. I think they stopped kind of pussyfooting around with this whole thing in the back half of the last issue. So now I'm like really like, Ooh, yeah.
Ah!
So this is still part of the Robin War, and I'm just like, okay, I'm over this now.
This is part of the Robin War?
Isn't it?
Uh, I didn't think so. No, it's actually a detective story. It's remember he did you read it? He finds a dead body in an alley that looks like George Washington.
Oh, this one. Never mind. Sorry. Whoops.
It's
Sorry.
okay.
Edit. Oh yes. Okay. No, I read like 3 weeks worth of this one. So sorry.
No, that's all
Um,
right. I figured.
I like the villain.
It's actually like a detective story.
Yeah, but it's focusing on Gordon.
Yeah, I know, but
That was the only downside for me. I'm like, I'm so sick of Gordon.
yeah, but the way I mean, think about it. It's only we're only have to deal with him a couple more months, hopefully.
I know. Maybe he'd get his back broken. He ends
Oh,
up in a wheelchair.
and I don't know if they're going all meta, but like towards the end when Julia's like, "Oh, get in the armor," and he's like, "No, no, no, I'm staying like this."
Yeah.
I'm like, are some of these writers saying, "Yeah, no, we don't. I don't want to put him in the armor."
I thought the artwork was great, and this was one of my favorite covers from DC this week, definitely.
Oh yeah, great, great cover, great art.
The way to open an issue filling a musket with gunpowder, right? Like what?
Talk about old school.
I know. It's a little too far back.
But I like the scene in the morgue with Bullock, and Bullock's like, take off the mask, and
I like the panel from the cemetery. I found it really interesting and high detail.
oh yeah,
I wasn't expecting that actually.
yeah, that was really good. What did you give it?
This is a 3.5. I just felt like it was so emo with all the rain and standing around and staring. I just felt like something out of Watchmen. I'm like, who do you think you are, Rorschach? Like, come on.
Oh god, you said emo. I don't know. I just heard like, nah.
Like, all you see, like, seriously, there was like 5 panels of him just standing around in the rain, making longing faces, watching that father and daughter read. And I was just like, what the hell? Enough's
Bla-
enough.
Black hole sun, won't you come?
It's just like emo Batman is never a good look. Unless it's Batman Beyond. Speaking of which.
Oh, you want to get the Batman Beyond?
No, I was just saying that happened this week.
Oh, jeez. All right, all right. I wasn't going to, but we're jumping to Batman Beyond number 8 because I want to know. You're like, yeah, that happened.
I totally kind of agree with the blurb. No good deed goes unpunished. Here I am, minding my own business, praising this damn title, and they do this to me.
What, you think it went downhill?
Honestly, a little bit. I feel like he doesn't have a reason for being without Brother Eye. I feel like that was the whole purpose of it, and now it's just like, oh, we're here, we're stuck. Get used to it.
Ah!
This is one of the worst critically reviewed issues too, by the way. So it's not just me. I did not enjoy this. I hope next month's issue is better.
Yeah, I don't know. It seemed like he had nothing to do. Well, he was looking for Matt, but still, it's
They really should have gave Matt the suit at this point.
and just the whole refugee thing. I'm like, okay, we're going there.
I really felt like it was too much action. Like I never thought I could say that about a Bat book, but I felt like they were kind of just relying on it. The story felt really kind of empty at this point.
You thought it was too much action? I don't know. I mean, there's action, but I don't think most of it wasn't Batman.
I know. I'm just saying it's just like too much. They relied on it too much instead of just like actually fleshing the story out for my liking.
Yeah. What did you think of that last page?
Boo! Stop it! What is this? The Walking Dead? Actually, I think that's what irked me the most. This reminded me of The Walking Dead for some reason, and I'm just like, ugh, boring and slow.
Oh, I thought it was Matt McGinnis, the last boy on Earth.
I don't know. I hope next issue's better. I really have been trying to like this title. I really have. I wasn't a fan of The Future's End. I wasn't a fan of the Brother Eye thing, so it was just like, oh, this is what this is kind of sort of based on, and it's bad enough, Terry's not here, but his brother is, and just get it together. Yep. What did you give it?
I'll give it a 3.5. What did you think?
I gave it a 3, a generous 3. Last month was pretty good, and I just feel like it's been stop and go, I think, is what it is with the storyline.
Mm-hmm.
And we need more go.
Oh.
Teen Titans Go? No, wait.
Nah.
They have their own comic book, right? It's cute. I like it.
I think I've heard. I haven't picked it up, but yeah, I think I've seen silhouettes for it and stuff.
When Lucas starts reading, if it's still around, you should totally give it to him.
Oh yeah, he likes the cartoon. He'll watch it sometimes.
It's loud and colorful and cute. I can understand why it is made for little kids specifically. So yeah, they're doing their job. Oh, did you know Red Hood and the Outlaws Volume 7 is out? I thought you might want to know that in case you didn't know that.
I didn't know that.
Red Hood, I thought of you, and then I thought of Charlie, and our DC versus Marvel debate.
Oh my god, I could give you so much ammunition for the next time we do that. Charlie told me. I mean, we were doing, I think, Super Connectivity one time. He said Superman 3 is his favorite Superman movie.
Honestly, knowing Charlie, I can understand why. Everybody thinks it's the worst movie, and I'm like, it's not. I could defend it if I had to.
I know, but the best.
Oh, he thinks it's the best. Oh, well.
Oh yeah, best. Yeah, no, he wasn't saying it was good. He was saying it was the best.
Oh God, I never want to debate that then. Anyway, what do we have left?
All I have is Batman and Robin Eternal number 14.
Okay.
I think this is gonna be my pick of the week.
Really?
Yeah. Why'd you have a problem with it?
No, it was a good story. It was.
I like the story. I really like the art. I really like Roger Robinson.
Oh yeah.
Reminds me of some Batman Gotham Knights.
You know what? I can totally see that.
Because he was on that for a while. We got some good flashbacks. We got Dick Grayson kicking David Kane's butt.
I thought it was some really great insight for each character in this issue. That's something that's kind of been lacking. We've kind of just been pushing forward to the next twist, to the next point in the story. But this was like good character contemplation. I like that.
I did see one major flaw in this story. Well, someone said something on Twitter, and I was like, okay, I see that. So Scarecrow's tied up in this whole thing, at least in the past. So why wouldn't you track down Scarecrow in the present day?
Because we have how many more weeks to go?
To what, March? Well, 26, so a little over halfway.
There you go. That's why.
I know, but they're hopping all over the world. Why don't you at least stop at Scarecrow first?
Come on. I mean, we all know, as much as we give Bruce grief, he's the brains of the operation, hands down.
I know, but I mean, they used to write Dick like he had at least like most of a brain.
He's got all that other stuff on his hands. He's got all these other Bat kids running around. He's trying to rein in. He can't think of everything, Phil. Give the poor dead mother a break.
That's true.
I swear the last panel should just be him relaxing with a glass of Pinot with all the Bat kids tucked away in the Bat cave in their little bed.
Get in the van. We're going home. But like I said, it's my pick of the week. I give it a 4.5.
Oh, nothing got a 5 this week from Phil. He's getting tougher, guys.
So what did you give this one?
It's a solid 4 for me. I really enjoyed the artwork, but like I said, I know like why certain things happen. It's because we have more issues and we have time to kill and wheels to spin. So,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, while I love the Bat Fam and it's still better than most things that come out, it's just like, why did I want a weekly book again?
Exactly, because you were what was it yesterday, or the day before? I swear you were on Twitter, or Facebook saying DC, we need more weekly series. I'm like, really?
Oh yeah, I was on Facebook because DC just announced that they're doing more bi-weekly printings, and I miss like I don't know, like I just it's like instant gratification, I guess. Like I get really antsy waiting a month in between a lot of these titles. So
Yeah, but I don't know. Marvel does some bi-weekly stuff, and it's just like, but if you do a book once a month, doesn't it give you more time and money to like explore other books also though?
well, for me, that's kind of not the issue.
Yeah, yeah, but
I
that
understand. I mean, I don't get me wrong. I understand why they don't do it, but
they want
then
to
like
expand.
sometimes like this, like as you can love a character so much, but then you realize, oh yeah, they have the whole other 51 weeks to go. Yeah, still a good. I can't. I really, honestly, I don't know how this story's gonna end, and we're at the halfway point, and there's still a lot of surprises they have in store for us, per the writers. So just keep it coming.
Yeah. So do you have anything else?
No,
Okay. Sounds sad.
sorry, I missed live tweeting Supergirl.
Oh, that's okay.
It was a pretty good episode too.
Mm-hmm.
Poor Cat. I was really hoping she'd be part of the team.
Oh, I saw that coming. I told you mid-season finale. I'm like, that's what was gonna happen.
I know. They didn't have. I just like when shows take the different route. Like I don't think there's ever gonna be a better comic book TV show twist than what they did with the Flash and Zoom in season 1. So,
Mm-hmm.
but it's the same writer, so I just keep expecting.
Yeah, but I mean, it's still season one Supergirl. I mean, if Cat's gonna find out, I don't think they're gonna do it this early.
But it was like it was classic. I was like, wait. So I was like, so obviously she had no. When I figured it out, I was like, oh, they're gonna have Martian Manhunter do the thing that Bruce and Clark did, and yeah, that's exactly what they did. Or Oliver and Clark on Smallville.
That's
Anyway, sorry.
okay.
Gotham's like still like a month and a half away. So
Oh yeah, end of February. That's why I've been thinking about doing some extra stuff for Gotham. Like I'm putting the invitation out in front of all you people. Lilith Hellfire, do you want to come on one week and do like a? I'm trying to do like a special Nightwing series.
yes.
But since you're so into it, pick like a specific arc or something you want to talk about, and we'll talk it.
Okay, I'm gonna pick a one that a lot of the fans probably don't like. So just heads up.
Uh-oh.
But I'll tell you why I find it very fascinating and why you should read it.
Okay.
I already have it locked and loaded. Anyway,
All right, let's get out of here. Uh, but just let us know anything we're not discussing you want us to discuss, or I think we hit all the books, but are we crazy? Are we dead on? Email us, worldsfinestpod@gmail.com. On Facebook, we're World's Finest Podcast. And on Twitter, we're at World's Finest Pod. And you can discuss anything DC or Marvel with me, nightwingpdp@gmail.com. And on Twitter, I am at nightwingpdp. And Lilith?
you guys can find me on Twitter at Lilith Hellfire. If you're on Tumblr, it's lilithhellfire.tumblr.com. I have count on 2 websites for you guys to check out. You can head over to popculturepostmortem.com for reviews of like music, movies, and comic books, or you can head over to lilithhellfire.com where I mostly just review TV shows as how I split that up. So either way, come by, leave a comment on the articles, and I will get back to you. And please, if you are in the market for a podcast about all things DC Nation related, I do a podcast called Channel 52. We also do little segments like Gotham Gossip, and we have an iZombie correspondent, and Phil is going to be our DC Legends of Tomorrow correspondent. I'm going to be the Lucifer correspondent, so there's pretty much going to be like daily content if that's your thing.
As if you didn't get enough of me and Lilith.
We're passionate in this Marvel obsessed podcast network.
Oh,
not that there's anything wrong with that.
Well, it doesn't help when I mean I'm both, but I mean it doesn't help when the head of the network's a Marvel guy, you know.
So just put a little DC in your life.
All right, great. Get out of here. All right, join us next week. Like I said, I'm pretty sure it's a big week. And remember, get in touch with us. Send us your any final thoughts you have for emo Batman before he goes away. Goodbye. Good night.